Right, just going to talk you through how this steam launch actually works. It's got a fairly sophisticated steam plant, so I'm just going to go through some bits and pieces. First and foremost, the cap, which is this bit, is not permanently attached, and this is where you're going to be lighting the burner from once you turned on the gas valve, which is here. Boiler itself has got 5 cross tubes and a centre flue, so it's an efficient steamer. There is a water sight glass here, so you can see how much water is actually in the boiler, and there's a blow down valve at the bottom of it to clear the glass. Working this way, we've got the 28mm supplied by Clevedon Steam ceramic burner, very effective, and it goes onto a standard plumbing fitting, which in turn fixes to the centre flue. This connection is the gas jet, gas valve and gas tank. The engine, Stuart Turner double acting with a displacement lubricator, and coming this way we have the oil trap, so you can run it on a lake without getting contamination onto the water. On the boiler again we have a pressure gauge. Normally you'll find it'll run at about £30 a square inch, somewhere in that vicinity. It can be as high as 40, but it doesn't need to be too much. This is the steam takeoff valve. This is where you turn the steam on, and this is the safety valve, which also doubles up as a water filler, which I'll demonstrate for you now. To get the best out of the plant, first undo the safety valve like this, and then using a fairly large syringe, which you could probably get from the chemists, we can fill the boiler just short of the top nut on the water gauge. That will give you sufficient. It's also better if you start with warm water, obviously. Once you've got water in the boiler, you can then replace the safety valve, and there's no need to over tighten this, just get it in there so it's just tight enough. So I would go finger tight initially, like this, and then give it a tiny nip with a small adjustable spanner. Okay, so we've now got water into the boiler. Make sure at this point the steam valve is turned off, like that, without over tightening it. The jet, which is this device I'm pointing to now, and the gas tank are designed to be removable from the hull in one go, like this. And the reason is, it's very unadvisable to fill the gas tank inside the boat. The reason is that if we get a spillage of gas, it can gather in the bottom of the boat, and when you come to ignite the boiler or the burner, you end up with an explosion. Bad idea. So fill your gas tank. Here's the valve in the top, which you can fill it through. Make sure the gas valve is turned off, like so. Fill your gas tank, and then what we can do is replace the jet and the gas tank in one easy go, like that. The next thing to do is unscrew the top of the displacement lubricator. Again, it doesn't need to be tight because it has an O-ring seal. And fill this, where I'm pointing now, with a good quality steam oil. As the steam comes through, it'll pick up a small quantity of oil and ensure that the cylinder, which is double acting, as Stuart Turner engines are, is well lubricated. Again, replace the cap and just make it finger tight. Like this. So it just sits down on the O-ring, no need to over tighten it. Coming forward now, this rubber connection here is the connection between the engine shaft and the propeller. All of this steam plant is not permanently fixed into the launch. All you need to do is just pull this rubber tube back, and all of this will lift clear of the launch. You may need to take the oil trap off first so you can get it out, and the rest of it will simply lift out of the launch in one complete go. Okay, so we've got water in the boiler, we've got gas in the tank, And the gas valve now, you simply need just to turn it on a little bit and you will hear the gas flowing into the burner. Take a match or a taper, where I'm pointing now, and it will flash back down to the ceramic burner. And that's the accepted method of lighting a small ceramic burner of this type. What I do is turn up the gas a little bit and wait until you get pressure showing on the gauge. That will take a few minutes. Let's say, for example, we'll go to about 30 pounds a square inch, somewhere in that region. What I do then is turn off the gas, lift out the jet and the tank again, refill it with gas and replace back in the launch, like so. Simply turn on the gas again, relight, and now you've got a full gas tank and a full boiler. I've had as much as 20 minutes out of this, but to ensure you don't run out of steam in the middle of the lake, I would recommend that you bring it in after, say, 12 to 15 minutes, but have a practice first and see how you get on. That covers the steam plant. Now we come to the radio control. It's got a standard transmitter, which is in the box as we speak. All you do is turn on the transmitter. Then we have, which I've hidden down here for the sake of appearance, the battery pack is under the seat, and we have an on-off switch which turns on the receiver. Single channel, rudder only control. Nothing reversible in this, so you should get a good 12 to 15 minutes run. Hide that away so I haven't got any ugly wiring showing. As I say, your battery pack is down here. The battery pack is placed at this side of the boat just to level it up. Now, as I said earlier, because it has got a sophisticated steam plant, you haven't got very much freeboard on this at all. It's going to have to be a pretty calm day and a very calm pond. But I did say that on the listing, it's important to point it out. I would explain as well, it didn't actually sink, I can promise you that. I've had it in my test tank outside several times. But the water line, once it's running, is going to be about here somewhere. So, that covers the use of the steam plant. Just to reiterate, if you start with warm water and use the technique of filling the gas tank twice, you'll get a very respectable run out of the plant. It's a little bit overpowered for the size of launch, so you don't need to overdo it. When you turn the steam on to power the engine, here you can in fact use that as a throttle, and because it's a single cylinder engine, they are not self-starting. The steam comes this way, so what you need to do is simply flick over the flywheel and the engine will start. I hope you have fun with it, and if you have any questions at all, please just give me a telephone call.